So we are on slide 12, writing equations in point-slope form. And here's our point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m, parentheses, x minus x1. In the last slide, we wrote the equation using y equals mx plus b. So this one, we're going to use a different formula, but we are still writing the equation, but we're using this formula. So to write the equation in point-slope form, replace the slope for m and x and y point for x1, y1. Get rid of any double signs. So we have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. It's called point slope because you use a point and the slope to plug in the formula. So let's look at the first one and we'll write down the important information from it, and then we will use our formula. So I'll show you my composition book in just a second. So this is what my slide looks like right now. Not my slide, my composition book. I can't keep things straight. Let's write the point slope form over here. Y minus y1 equals m, parentheses, x minus x1. So it said replace m with your slope. So in the place of m, I'm going to write -1/4 right underneath it, because I wrote the formula and now I'm replacing the variables with numbers. Okay, so there's an equal sign here. And then it's y minus y1. So this will be x1, y1, or just x and y. I'm going to put x1, y1. X is always the first number in a coordinate pair, and then y is your second. So that means I'm going to plug in a -2. So it has a negative in the formula, and then your y1 is a -2. So we have a double negative right there. Now I'm going to plug in the x. So x minus x1 is 8. So even after I plug in the slope and a point, I still have two variables. And that's okay because I'm going to end up writing this in y equals mx plus b form. And that means I'll still have the two variables x and y. So now we are going to get rid of the double negatives. Anytime you see a double negative, so there's a double negative there. That one doesn't have one. So now we'll rewrite it. Y plus 2 equals -1/4, parentheses, x minus 8. Okay, so we need to get rid of the parentheses by distributing. So I'm going to take this -1/4 and multiply it times x and times the -8. So I still have y plus 2 on one side equals the -1/4 times x would be -1/4 x. And then -1/4 times a -8. We're going to take the sign with it. So I'm going to put it in my calculator. You don't have to, but just want to show you how you would put it in. -1/4 times a -8 is a 2. And it's negative times negative, making that a +2. And our final product needs to be written as y equals. So we're going to look and see what's keeping y from being by itself. It's at plus 2. So to get it to the other side, we need to subtract 2. So I subtract it from here, and then I wouldn't put it under here because this has the variable x, but this is a constant, so I'm going to put it under that one. So positive 2, negative 2 cancels, and I'm left with y equals negative 1/4 x. And then positive 2 minus 2, what happens there? We get a 0. So our final answer is y equals negative 1/4 x, because we don't need that plus 0. I do want to check my work in the calculator. Okay, so let's go to y equals. Get a calculator out or open the one on your computer. If you need to get up, get one right now. They're in the back of the room. Okay, so I'm going to do the fraction, which was alpha y equals negative 1/4 x. And what I need to look at is that there is a 0.8 negative 2 there. So I'm going to go to the table. I'm going to look for 8 negative 2. 8 negative 2 is there. And then the next thing I want to look at is the slope. Is this going to be a positive or a negative slope?
Both.
What? It's a negative slope, so that means whenever I look at my graph, go to graph, I should see that it is going down. So those are 2 ways to check. So check table for point, and then check graph for positive or negative slope. Okay, so let's look on here and we can fill in what we have. So slope-intercept equation, that is the one that says mx plus b. So your slope-intercept equation is just y equals negative 1/4 x. And then your point slope form is the y minus y1 m x minus x1. So this one is going to be y minus, nope, it's plus because of the double negative, plus 2 equals negative 1/4 parentheses x minus 8. Let's see if I can do. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's write down the important information. So number 2, it's going to be m equals 3. I'll show you my screen in just a second. Negative 3, negative 1. So we have the slope written. We have a point. Let's label the point x1, y1. And let's write the formula. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Okay, let's plug in. So it'd be y minus, what's y1? -1. So we're going to write y minus a -1 equals m is 3, and then x minus x1, a -3. Anytime you see a double negative, we're going to make it positive. Keep change. So this is y plus 1 equals 3, parentheses, x plus 3. Okay, so then our next step would be to distribute the 3 to everything. So this is y plus 1 equals 3x plus 9. Minus 1. So don't put it under the 3x, put it under the constant, which is 9. So it's y equals 3x plus 8. Okay, does that work? Just check and make sure I did it right. All right, so then what we would need to do is go to y equals, put that in, check the table, check the graph. Three x plus 8, we're looking at the table for -3, -1. And it's there. And then looking at the graph, how should it look? Positive slope, positive slope. So we're good to go. All right, so let's fill in slope-intercept form as the mx plus b. So this one's y equals 3x plus 8. Try it. And then your point slope form would be y plus 1. So let me show you where that is. This right here is your point slope form. It is after you change any double negative. So it's y plus 1 equals 3, parentheses, x plus 3. So that would be your point slope form after you change your double negatives. Okay, let's do our last problem on here. So go ahead and write m equals 2/3, and then our point is -3, 6. I want you to go ahead and try this one. So I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so you should have finished that. If you didn't, pause it again. Let's go ahead and go over it. Okay, so I have my slope and my point written down. I'm going to write my formula, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And I'm going to label my point. This is x1, y1. So it'll be y minus 6, because we didn't have a negative 6. It was just a minus. It was just a 6. So that's why it's y minus 6 equals m 2/3 x minus a negative 3. I have a double negative here, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that. And now I have y minus 6 equals 2/3 parentheses x plus 3. So this is my point slope form after I take care of any double negatives. And so the next thing I need to do is get rid of parentheses by distributing. Whoa, my line went way wrong. Way long. Y minus 6 equals 2/3 times x, so that'd be 2/3 x, plus 2/3 times 3. Do what? Isn't it positive? All right. Oh, hold on. Hello? Okay. Yes, I'll send one. Isaiah's not here. He's online. Yes. Okay, thanks. Hello? Yes. Okay, thanks. Okay, so 2/3 times 3. That's where I was at before I got sidetracked. And that just equals 2. All right. And then our last step would be to get this minus 6 to the other side by adding 6. So it's y equals 2/3 x plus 8. So if you messed up, redo it. Fix it.
I got the same equation. It's just like 8 with negative.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. Okay. You put a negative 2 right here? Okay. So our slope-intercept form is y equals 2/3 x plus 8. We need to check in the calculator too. I forgot. And then y minus 6 equals 2/3 parentheses x plus 3. Okay, your assignment is going to be a worksheet. So I will pass that out in just a minute and we will look at it. So I'm going to pause it for a sec. Let's look at the assignment. You might have it on Google Slides. So if we look at our assignment, the first 4 are just like what we have been doing on the example. So I am going to write the formula up here. Adrian, come over here. Get a paper. I forgot to leave one on your desk. So 1 through 4 are the exact same type questions as what we already did. 5 through 8, it gives us 2 points. We are not given the slope. So what do we need to do? Find the slope. So let's write our slope formula over here. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. Yep. And y'all look at your formula chart. We have point slope form is here also. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you have your formulas written down on your paper. So you can go ahead, you can do those. So you'll first have to find your slope and then use your slope formula using your x1, y1. 9 through 10 is you're finding the slope in the ordered pair and then writing the equation slope-intercept form. So I would write this above it. I don't know why I did that extra. Hold on. I did this and I shouldn't have. So in order to find the slope, you would look for your m. So our slope is -4. And then we want our x1, y1. So our x1, see how that's already a minus? So our x1 is just 1. But our y1, see how it has minus y1, but this is plus 2? Huh? And -2, because what makes this positive 2 from the formula? It's the first thing we do every time we do our point slope form. It's the double negative. So if I were to rewrite this, it'd be y minus a -2, because isn't that the same? So then my y1 is a -2. And then the last thing, so that's your slope in order pair, and says write the equation slope-intercept form. So we have this as our equation that was given. So now you're going to solve for y. So this was the last step that we would do on our notes. We would distribute the -4. And so we get y plus 2 equals -4x. And then -4 times a -2. Do what? Oh, why did I say 2? Thanks. -4 times a -1 is +4. And then we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. And we get y equals -4x plus 2. So we have slope as an answer, point as an answer, and our equation as an answer. Okay. All right, so the rest of the time, y'all are going to work on your assignments.